Good evening, children. Yes, children, my voice is audible to all. Pratham, Aditi. Good evening, all children. That as you people have said in the previous class, that we should be doing the revision of the chapter number 1, that is the Harappan Civilization. So now, I would like to come to the chapter. The name of the chapter is the Harappan Civilization. Now, if I talk about Harappan Civilization, certain things come in our mind. Like, the topics are like, firstly, let's talk about the syllabus. The syllabus is the sources. We have to study about the Great Bath, Citadel, Seals, Bearded Man, Dancing Girl, Dockyard Script, Origin, Extent, Urban Planning, Trade, Art and Craft, and its decline. These are the topics which we have to study. Now, this was the area which was being occupied by the Harappan civilization, or in these areas, this Harappan civilization has flourished. Now, firstly, we should talk about the meaning of the term civilization. Now, if I talk about the meaning of the term civilization in simple language, I will say civilization comes from the Latin word civis. It means someone who resides in a town. The people are thought to be civilized when they have organized themselves into stable and efficient groups. Instead of operating separately in small tribes. Beyond this, we could expect any civilization to be recognizable by its language, arts and architecture, education and intellectual achievements, government and ability to defend itself. Now, if I talk about the Harappan civilization or the Indus Valley civilization, the first and the best example of the Indus Valley civilization was found at Harappa. So, this civilization is sometimes called by the name of the Harappan civilization. Now, the next point is origin of the Harappan civilization. It is not very easy to determine the exact period of the Harappan civilization. हम लोग इस civilization के बारे में, हरप्पन सभ्यता के बारे में कोई इसकी exact date नहीं बता सकते कब से कब तक चला गया, ये चला था. Unless their script is deciphered, जब तक हमें उनके उस ज़माने की कोई किताब ना मिल जाए, कोई स्क्रिप्ट ना मिल जाए, उनका लिखा कोई रिकॉर्ड ना मिल जाए. However, archaeologists like Sir John Marshall, under whose guidance the sites of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa were excavated, thought that it belonged to the period between 3250 BCE to 2750 BCE. What is the period known as 3250 BCE to 2750 BCE? Now, recent tests by the radiocarbon method have placed it between 2500 BCE and 1750 BCE. It is the same period when the Egyptian and Mesopotamian civilization prospered. Okay, my other point is, now let's talk about, if I talk about the extent, Lothal in Gujarat, Kalibangan in Rajasthan, Alamgirpur in Uttar Pradesh, and Mitahal in Hisar. These are the areas. So in short I am telling you. Now let's talk about extent and chief centers. By now, more than 250 centers of the Harappan culture have been discovered in different areas of the northwestern part of the subcontinent. These sites are scattered in the Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, Gujarat, Rajasthan, and the fringes of western Uttar Pradesh. This civilization extended from Ropar in the north to the valleys of Narmada and Tapi in the south, and from Meerut in the upper Ganga Yamuna Dwab in the east to the Sukht Gendor on the Makran coast of South Balochistan in the west. Now, I told you the important sites, total nearly of the 250 sites, total 250 sites have been found of the Harappan civilization so far discovered. The two most important ones are Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. These two sites, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, are considered to be the most important one. These were also the two biggest centers of this civilization. If I talk about Mohenjo-daro, in Sindhi language, it means the mound of the dead. In Sindhi language, this word Mohenjo-daro का मतलब होता है mound of the dead. It was the chief city of the Indus Valley civilization and probably the capital of the southern region. From the ruins, the archaeologists have come to the conclusion that it was once a well-planned city with straight, wide roads and a very highly developed system of drainage and sanitation. Next point is Harappa. Now, what is this Harappa? This means the ruins of this city were discovered at a distance of 160 kilometers from Lahore on the Ravi River. It was probably the capital of the northern region. It was also a well-planned city like Mohenjo-daro. It was bigger in area than the Mohenjo-daro. It was the first city of the Indus Valley to be excavated in the year 1921. याद रखना, हरप्पा पहला शहर था, पहली जगह थी जो कि खोदी गई थी, ढूंढी गई थी 1921 में. Other important centers besides Mohenjo-daro and Harappa were Chanhu-daro in Sindh. अब ये कहाँ पे पड़ता है? पाकिस्तान में. About 130 kilometers south of Mohenjo-daro. Lothal in Gujarat near Ahmedabad, Kalibangan in northern Rajasthan, Alamgirpur near Hastinapur in Uttar Pradesh, and Mithahal in Hisar district of Haryana. ये इनकी main places थी. Now, let's talk about the main features of the Harappan civilization. Harappan civilization के main features क्या थे? So, इसमें हम लोग कुछ topics पढ़ेंगे like urban planning or town planning. The next point is the drainage system, or the civic organization. So these are the main points. I can say civic organization, or it can be stated at main streets were wide and straight. So now we are going to study these particular points. But before that, children, I would like to ask you a question. One question is there, children. Just listen to me carefully. Why was agriculture the main occupation of people in all early Bronze Age civilization? Send me the answer for this question fast. Why was agriculture the main occupation in all early Bronze Age civilization? Just send me the answer for this question. I have sent it. Yes, Shubhi, Pratham, Riddhima, Janvi, Charu, Aditi. Send your answers fast, children. Okay, none of you are giving the answer. Charu has given, but the answer is not correct. I am waiting for Shubhi Yadav, Aditi, Arnav, Pratham. Give the answer, children. Arnav Anand. Okay, now I am telling you the answer. All early Bronze Age civilization had developed in river valleys where fertile soil was available. So thus agriculture was the main occupation of people here. My answer was audible to all. Is the answer clear? Again, I am repeating the question and answer. Why was agriculture the main occupation of people in all early Bronze Age civilization? The answer for this question is all early Bronze Age civilizations had developed in river valleys where fertile soil was available. Thus, agriculture was the main occupation of people here. So now, children, let's move to the other point. Now let's talk about urban planning or town planning. Now, if I talk about urban planning or town planning, it is the most striking feature of the Harappan civilization. The most striking feature of the Harappan civilization is the urban planning. While the Sumerian cities were developed around the temple and followed a circular pattern, the Indus cities followed a grid pattern. This is indicated by the uniformity in planning alignments of streets, planning of houses, and public buildings with provisions for thoroughfare. Each city was divided into two parts. To the west of each city, remember, to the west of each city was a citadel, and this citadel was built on a high platform. Public buildings, religious structures, and granaries were built on the citadel. The ruling class, comprising rich merchants and priests, lived there. The citadel was surrounded by a wall. Citadel के चारों तरफ एक दीवार होती थी, बाउंड्री वॉल हुआ करती थी. Citadel क्या होता था? एक ये उठा हुआ पार्ट होता था. जैसे बाकी लोग नीचे रहेंगे, ये ऊंचान पे थोड़ी सी ऊंचान पे इसको बनाया जाता था. और यहाँ पे रहने वाले जो लोग थे वो थोड़े रॉयल होते थे. मीन्स द रूलिंग क्लास comprising rich merchants and priests lived there. The citadel was surrounded by a wall, possibly as a protection against invasions or floods. Below the citadel was the lower town or town proper. जो ऊंचाई वाले क्षेत्र पे बनता था उसे हम कहते थे सिटाडल. सिटाडल जो था वो ब्राह्मणों के लिए, जो रिच मर्चेंट्स थे या जो ऑफिसर्स थे, उनके लिए होता था. और चारों तरफ उसके बाउंड्री वॉल बनी हुई थी. वही जो नीचे की लेयर होती थी वो आम जनता के लिए होती थी. जो ऊंचाई पे लोग रहते थे, इट वॉज मेंट, वो उन लोग की प्रोटेक्शन होती थी अगेंस्ट द इन्वेजन्स ऑफ फ्लड. आपका घर अगर ऊंचाई की तरफ है, नदी किनारे, लेकिन आपका घर ऊंचाई पे है, तो उसका फायदा क्या है कि जो भी चीजें नुकसान करेगा, पानी जिसको भी नुकसान करेगा, वो नीचे वाली बेल्ट को स्टार्ट करेगा, नुकसान कर देगा. और जो लोग ऊंचाई पे रह रहे हैं उनका नुकसान नहीं होगा. ओके, द मेन स्ट्रीट्स followed a grid pattern running from north to south or from east to west. The houses stood on both sides of the streets and were rounded at corners. इसका मतलब समझो, I have set the line, they were rounded at corners. इसका मतलब होता है कि जहां पे मोड़ होता था, जो किनारा होता था, वो थोड़ा सर्कुलर होता था. Why it was circular? So that the vehicles, जो भी उस समय व्हीकल्स हुआ करते थे ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के लिए, वो आसानी से मुड़ सके. The streets crossed one another. The streets crossed one another at right angles, dividing the city into square or rectangular blocks. The houses ranged from single room to bigger houses with courtyards having up to 12 rooms. पहले के जो घर हुआ करते थे उसमें 12-12 कमरे होते थे. जो कोर्टयार्ड होता था वो बहुत बड़ा होता था. Most of the houses has double stories. Most of the houses had doubled stories. They were made of burnt bricks and mud mortar. तो वो पहले सीमेंट का इस्तेमाल नहीं किया जाता था. जो ईंट होती थी या जो दीवार होती थी उसमें मट्टी का इस्तेमाल किया जाता था. और जो ईंटें होती थी, द ब्रिक्स यूज्ड टू बी टू हैवी. जो आधी जली हुई ईंटें होती थी और बहुत मजबूत होती थी. आज के मुकाबले उन ईंटों का वजन बहुत ज्यादा होता था. Every house had a bathroom, a storeroom, a kitchen, a well, and dustbins. The kitchen had a fireplace with an oven in the courtyard. Bathrooms had paved and slanting floor. Doors and windows opened on the streets. जो भी दरवाजे खुलते थे या खिड़कियां खुलती थी वो सड़क की तरफ खुलती थी. आज के टाइम में जो आपके दरवाजे होते हैं वो बाहर की तरफ खुलते हैं या अंदर की तरफ खुलते हैं? Just send me the answer. Nowadays the doors or the windows which are in your house, it opens towards outside or inside? Just send me the response fast. अच्छा आंसर दो इसका मुझे फटाफट। खिड़की दरवाजे जो होते हैं वो अंदर की तरफ खुलते हैं आज के टाइम या बाहर की तरफ? ओके प्रथम, टुवर्ड्स द रोड। ये आंसर देखो बेटा, आज के टाइम में जो आपकी विंडोज हैं, खिड़कियां जो हैं, जो बाहर के कमरों में हैं, वो तो बाहर के साइड खुल रही है और पूरे घर में बाकी जगह आपकी खिड़की होती ही नहीं है। और जो डोर्स होते हैं, ऑल द डोर्स आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, ऑल द डोर्स ओपन इनसाइड, सारे दरवाजे अंदर की तरफ खुलते हैं। एम आई राइट? मोस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स आर ओपनिंग इनसाइड। Okay, they were made of burnt bricks and mud mortar. Every house had a bathroom, a storeroom, a kitchen, a well and dustbins. हर घर में कुआं भी होता था, मतलब पानी के लिए आपको यहाँ वहाँ नहीं भटकना है, आपके घर में कुआं है, पानी निकाल लीजिए। The kitchen had a fireplace with an oven in the courtyard. जो courtyard होता था उसमें ही खाना बनाने के लिए, जो उनका पहले मिट्टी पे खाना बनता था, ईंटें रखी जाती थी, वो उनका बाहर की तरफ रहता था। डोर्स एंड विंडोज ओपनड ऑन द स्ट्रीट्स, हाउस ड्रेन्स एम्प्टीड वेस्ट वाटर इनटू द स्ट्रीट ड्रेन्स। जो आज का सिस्टम है, जो आपके घर की जो नाली होती है वो बाहर के मेन रोड पे आके मिलती है, विच लेड टू द मेन ड्रेन्स, और वहाँ से घर के बाहर जो नालियाँ होती हैं वो जाके जो मेन ड्रेन्स होती हैं उसमें मिल जाती हैं। which emptied themselves in the outskirts of the city। और जो शहर का बाहर का एरिया होता है, वो जो मेन नाले होते हैं वो बाहर निकल जाते हैं। Now let's talk about the second point, the drainage system. The Indus Valley people had a high sense of health and sanitation, and they possessed an elaborate drainage system. Each house had its small drains which were directly connected with the street drain, which ran under the main streets and below many lanes. Each house had its own soak pit, and water flowed from the sink into the underground sewers in the streets. The drains were made of mortar, lime and gypsum. तीन चीज़ों की नालियाँ होती थी। The drains were made of mortar, lime and gypsum. They were covered with bricks and stones. There were manholes at regular intervals for inspection. People did not throw ash and other refuse in the drains. All these qualities shows that the drains were constructed on scientific lines, and their drainage system was in no way inferior to the underground drainage system of the modern times. अगर हम लोग बात करें अपने नालियों की, तो पहले लोग जो होते थे उसमें वो मट्टी या राख, पहले खाना लकड़ी पे बनता था तो उससे राख होती थी। सो उस समय भी लोग जो ये बेकार की चीज़ें होती थी, राख हो गए या कुछ भी कूड़ा हुआ, तो उसको उठा के वो पानी या नहरों में नहीं डालते थे। नाउ डेज व्हाट इज़ हैपनिंग, अब जब लोग पढ़े लिखे ज़्यादा हो गए, एडवांस हो गए, तो डेड बॉडीज़ जो भी जलाई जाती हैं उसकी जो राख होती है लोग गंगा में जाके प्रवाहित करते हैं उसको। हम लोग उससे बहुत हम लोग के हिंदू रिलीजन में माना जाता है दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि उसको आप विसर्जित कर दीजिए किसी भी नदी में जाके, गंगा में जाके। ये हम लोग की सोच है। बट जस्ट थिंक इफ ऑल द पीपल स्टार्ट थ्रोइंग इट लाइक दिस, या आपने देखा होगा लोग सिक्के फेंकते हैं पानियों में। सो अर्लियर द पीपल वर वेरी सिस्टमेटिक इन मेंटेनिंग देयर एरिया। पहले लोग बहुत सिस्टमेटिक होते थे और अपनी चीज़ों को बहुत ढंग से मेंटेन करते थे। Now let's talk about civic organization. If I talk about civic organization, it means the Indus Valley people lived in well-planned towns. The towns had adequate arrangements for water supply, the discovery of lamp posts at intervals reveals the existence of street lighting. Sanitation was also properly looked after. Rubbish was thrown into the dustbins. पहले जो कूड़ा होता था उसे कूड़ेदान में ही डाला जाता था, आज के टाइम लोग सड़कों पे फेंकते हैं. Sanitation was also properly looked after. Rubbish was thrown into the dustbins. The sweepers kept the cities neat and clean. Buildings were not allowed to encroach upon the public roads. मतलब आपकी जितनी ज़मीन है आप उसमें ही घर बना सकते हैं. अगर थोड़ा सा भी एरिया आपका बाहर निकल जाता है, बाउंड्री को अगर आप क्रॉस करते हैं तो उसको तोड़ दिया जाता है. अर्लियर दिस सिस्टम वॉज प्रिवेलिंग. Therefore, the sweepers kept the cities neat and clean. Buildings were not allowed to encroach upon roads. There were inns for travelers. Inns means rest houses. There were inns for travelers. The system of watch and ward at night also existed. मतलब जो चौकीदार वाला सिस्टम होता था, चौकीदारी वाला, वो उस समय भी था. Nobody could build pottery kilns in the city. Pottery kilns का मतलब क्या होता है? Does anyone know it? What is the meaning of the word pottery kilns? Pottery kiln words means where the bricks are manufactured. जहाँ पे ईंटें बनाई जाती हैं, जिसे हम लोग हिंदी में भट्ठा कहते हैं. इन pottery kilns को या brick kilns को ये लोग cities के बाहर रखते थे. क्यों? क्योंकि शहर के अंदर रखेंगे तो धुआं बहुत ज़्यादा उठेगा, उससे दूसरे लोगों को दिक्कत हो सकती है, इसलिए इसको सिटीज़ के बाहर रखा जाता था. All these things indicate the existence of some civic organization whose authority was well respected by the people. It has been rightly said that the well-planned towns, elaborate system of drainage, and efficient civic organization were the monumental achievements of the Indus Valley people. So children, now अब एक थोड़ा सा एक दो क्वेश्चंस मुझे बताओ. थोड़ी देर बाद मैं मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस पे आऊँगा. बिफोर दैट आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क यू सर्टेन क्वेश्चंस और इसका आंसर फटाफट देना. एंड आई वांट द आंसर्स फ्रॉम अर्णव, चारू, शुभी, रिद्धिमा, प्रथम. आंसर्स अपने फास्ट देना. एंड जानवी, send your answers fast. My first question: list the professions of Indus Valley Civilization. My question is, list the professions of Indus Valley Civilization. Okay, good children, your answer is correct. At that time, agriculture, carpentry, iron smithy, goldsmithy, weaving, spinning and pottery making, ये सारे इसमें options हुआ करते थे. Nearly 4-5 professions were there, जिसमें agriculture, carpentry, iron smithy, goldsmithy, weaving, spinning and pottery making were very common. Now, the next question. Good children, now pay attention to the other question. My other question is, when was the Harappan civilization discovered by the archaeologists? Send the answer fast. When was the Harappan civilization discovered by the archaeologists? This question is an easy one. I need your answers fast. Very good, Pratham. Your answer is right. Ridhima Singh, I've asked you the year, you are telling me the century. My question is, when was the Harappan civilization discovered by the archaeologists? The answer is, the archaeologists had discovered the Harappan civilization in 1921. Now the next question. Listen to the question very carefully. Give three important features. Give three important features of the Indus Valley civilization. Send the answer fast. Janvi, Sakshi, Shubhi, Pratham, Ridhima, Arnav, Pratham. Send the answer fast, children. Give three important features of the Indus Valley civilization. Child, I am asking, Sakshi, my question is, give three important features. Okay. So now I am telling you the answer. The three important features of the Indus Valley civilization are town planning, good drainage system, and civic organization. Okay. The next question. My next question is, now this is an important question. थोड़ा सा दिमाग लगाना पड़ेगा इसमें. Question is, what is known about the race of the Indus Valley people? What is known about the race of the Indus Valley people? Okay, listen my question. What is known about the race, R-A-C-E, race of the Indus Valley people? Now, let me tell you the answer. Some historians believe that the Indus Valley people were from a branch of Indo-Aryan race while others claim them to have been Dravidians. Okay, now the next question. What materials? Now children, let's come to the multiple choice questions. Now it's the turn for MCQ. Okay, Shubhi, my question was, what is known about the race of the Indus Valley people? So the answer for this question is, some historians believe that the Indus Valley people were from a branch of Indo-Aryan race, while others claim them to have been Dravidians. Okay, now the first question is visible on your screen. Cloth is an example of raw material, produce, unprocessed goods or finished goods. Okay, Pratham Pratap Bhargav has given the answer, that is finished goods. Let other people also give your answer. Shubhi, Sakshi, Charu, Arnav, Janvi, send your answer fast. Good, Ridhima, Charu, Pratham, other people, I am waiting for your answer. Okay, so the correct answer for this question is, cloth is an example of finished goods. Good answer. Cloth is an example of finished good. Now the second question for today. The question is visible on your screen. Spindle walls made of both dash have been found in archaeological excavations of Harappa. Options are good, Pratham. Other people also send your answers. Good, Arnav, Anand. Okay, so the correct answer for this question is, spindle walls made of both terracotta and faience have been found in archaeological excavations of Harappa. Now children, come to the third question. The western part of the city of Harappa, which is smaller but higher, is called the dash. Options are citadel, chat, great bath, storehouse. Yes, children, all of you have given the right answer, and the right answer is the western part of the city of Harappa, which is small but higher, is called the citadel. Now, the next question. Dash was brought by the Harappans from present day Afghanistan and Iran. Soon the question would be visible on your screen. Now it's visible. The options are copper, iron, bronze, and gold. Okay, the correct answer for this question is bronze. Bronze was brought by the Harappans from present day Afghanistan and Iran. Now see the next question, which is visible on your screen. The question is, the Harappans imported dash and dash. Option gold, silver. Option B wooden coal. Option C iron, copper. Option D marble and iron. Okay, now let's see the answer. The Harappans imported gold, silver, and tin, means gold and silver. Okay, children, the correct answer for this question is the Harappans imported See the question, children. The question is imported. What is the meaning of the word imported? Import मतलब जो दूसरे देशों से आता था. What was that? Okay, so the answer is option C, that is iron and copper. So children, for today, this much only. In the remaining class, we'll be doing the remaining part of the chapter. So start learning this chapter.